there.
None. I've never been to this party like that.
Well, we figured that you'd have a good story, and you did a good job.
How you doing, sir? Good to see you. Doing all right? How's it going? Good to say you hello. Where do we sit?
I have the slightest idea. That's the state of I had no idea. I'm going to go out and find me a seat. Yeah, now I'm waiting out. I think maybe
He may have one for you.
I got to get where there's
She
two.
can tell you right here with the, she said she
Oh.
You got the three all set. Did you meet the mayor? No. Huh? You met his wife?
And welcome to the Mayor's Scholars Luncheon. And we're delighted to have each of you here. We were very pleased with our outstanding young men and women who participated in this Mayor's Scholars Program. We read each of your papers with a great deal of admiration for your skill and your creativity and your outstanding ideas, and we really are very proud of each one of you. We're so pleased that for these few years, the 5th year, we have had the involvement of Equitable in supporting the Mayor's Task Force on Public Education in providing the funds to present this outstanding program for you. Kaya has really been a stalwart with us as we work together and plan with the members of the Atlanta Public School System and the Mayor's Task Force on Public Education. Let me just very briefly tell you a little bit about the process so that when we announce the winners, you will know that not even the participants who were judging knew who they were going to be until after the process was completed. Each school submitted a senior that was chosen at the school to be their outstanding representative, the person that they felt had written the finest paper. That paper came into a group of judges from throughout the city who did not have the benefit of the cover sheet that included all the pertinent information. And these judges read these papers and assigned each one a number, and then we totaled them up and we selected the winners. I'd like to tell you who those judges are who participated with us. And if you are here, if you would acknowledge your presence. Dr. Ethel Gitley, who is Director of the Honors Program at Spelman College. Lily Hughes, the Director of Personnel for the City of Atlanta. Dr. May Kendall, Director of Program Planning and Development for the Atlanta Public Schools. Regina A. Johnson, Language Arts Coordinator, the Atlanta Public Schools. Dr. Ronald Lewis, Associate Superintendent, Educational Operations, Atlanta Public Schools, who came in a little on the tail end, but we acknowledge him as a judge also. Susan Ross, Contract Compliance Administrator, City of Atlanta. Tom Teeping, Editor for Editorial Writers, Atlanta Constitution. And Jean Young, Chair of the Mayor's Task Force on Public Education. We want to thank each of you for your participation. Let me welcome you also to our new City Hall building. I hope that many of you, the students came earlier when they did their little video presentation that we will see shortly that will introduce each of them to you. But for those of you who had not had the opportunity to visit our new annex, we are very pleased to welcome you here, and we were insistent on having something as equally fine as in previous years when we were at the Ritz-Carlton, and we think we've done okay. So we want to thank all of those who participated in helping that to happen. Now, with the Equitable, the person who has really been so much in our corner and so strong and forceful in support of what we were doing in supporting public education is Mr. Darwin Davis. He's the Senior Vice President of the Equitable, and we're very pleased to have Darwin here with us and to come and bring us the statement of purpose. Mr. Davis.
Thank you very much, Ms. Young, and good evening to all of you. What a beautiful crowd it is. And I, too, want to add my congratulations, Mr. Mayor, on this wonderful, wonderful new City Hall. You know, I didn't even know where the City Hall was. And I've been in Atlanta at least 100 times. I did not know how to get to City Hall. And, but about 4 cops told the cab how to do that. So the cab driver, I think today was his first day, too. But it is very beautiful, and I congratulate you, and I see you're still even working. It's going to be more beautiful. But even more beautiful than the City Hall, I got to tell you, to stand here and to see all the people out there, and the young people who are smart and bright and alert, and your parents and your people from the Board of Education, the superintendent. You know, I think this is just wonderful. I think of all the things we do, this is right at the top of the list of the most important things in the projects we do. This is the 5th year. It's the Atlanta Equitable Scholarship Essay Competitions. For 5 years now, the Equitable had been very proud and privileged to be a part of this. Its 4 winning essays are going to receive a $1,000 scholarship award each year for 4 years, providing they are matriculating students at an accredited college. This program is run in conjunction with the mayor's office, the board, and our community leaders here. You know, it's significant, I think, to note that this will be the year that we'll have our first graduates. This is the 5th year. We now have one full cycle, of which we now have $64,000 into the program, with now going on with $68,000 now going in this year. So it's a very significant thing for us, this program is. And just a couple notes I think that you ought to know. It's another fine example. The Equitable is involved in Atlanta. We moved our real estate headquarters here, which is almost $30 billion of real estate that we manage across the United States, but it's headquartered here in Atlanta, Georgia. And that was by no accident. It was planned and programmed. And Atlanta was the place that we chose to do that, and so therefore we're very proud and pleased that you allow us to be a part of this. This is one of the many initiatives that the Equitable is working on in Atlanta. This one is with the mayor's office, but there's all other kinds of things that we do with the colleges and universities here, and we're very proud to be a part of that. We've had a long-standing relationship with some of those colleges, and we have some people here from Equitable, and I just want to introduce you to them because maybe they're going to do it later, but let me do it also. Michael Bivens is the head of education. Stand up, Michael. He's the head of educational programs for the Equitable in New York City. All the Equitable programs nationwide, this bright young man, Michael Bivens, and I want you to say hi to Michael. And then with Michael is his boss. So say nice things about Michael. Is a person who she's a vice president of the Equitable, and she's a chief operating officer of the Equitable corporate operations. That's all the Equitable Foundation. That's where the money comes from. And she's the person who runs that whole show, Vice President Kathleen Carlson. But we're deeply interested in the education, economic development, and the community issues of Atlanta. We believe that this is Equitable's second home, and we think you got to take care of home. So thank you very much for allowing us to participate with you. It's a pleasure for us, and we're proud and privileged to do it. And thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And now we're going to let you see some of these outstanding students and hear from them. And of course, at this time, no one knows who is the best, and you will have a tough time selecting, I'm sure, as you listen to them.
Hello, I am Sidnitra Christine Bates, a senior at Charles Lincoln Harper High School. After graduation, I plan to attend Clark Atlanta University and major in broadcast journalism and minor in speech pathology. It is indeed an honor to come before you as a Mayor Scholar. From Harper to Prince, from class cutter to class scholar, from promiscuity to virtue. If I were superintendent, realizing that the core of our problem is spiritual famine, Much of my plan centers around feeding in this area so that our students would know whose they are, resulting in knowing who they are. Realizing that faith without works is dead, I will establish a program that will allow for and challenge the total growth of the student.
Hello, my name is Dwight Bibbs, and I am a senior at Southside Comprehensive High School. After graduation, I plan to attend Georgia Tech and major in electrical engineering. I would like to read an excerpt from my essay. I think it is in the best interest of the United States to treat educators with great respect and appreciation. Without good educators, the United States will no longer be one of the most competitive nations in the world. Without educators, U.S. citizens will no longer be leaders of the world, but followers. I think this verse from a very famous psalm sums it up. I believe the children are our future. Teach them well and let them lead the way. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Erin Brown, and I go to Northside High School. Next year, I'll be at Harvard University. The focus of my Mayor Scholar's essay was the importance of the parent-school relationship and family activism in a child's education. The primary way that I would try to improve this is by the establishment of a new staff position called the Parent-School Liaison. This person would be a social worker with sociology training and would be able to evaluate the needs of his or her community. Once they have made their evaluation, they will establish programs in the schools designed to increase parent participation. Some of these might be outreach programs, both recreational and dealing with community problems. Some might be the encouragement of parents in activism groups, and others may be along the lines of the current open houses, academic programs designed not to intimidate people and to welcome parent participation. Again, parent participation has been proven essential to the success of children in school, and as superintendent, this would be one of my primary focuses.
My name is Melissa Brown, and I am a senior at Walter F. George High School. Over the years, I have learned the importance of setting goals and working to achieve them. My present goals include attending college and possibly pursuing a career as a research biologist or a teacher. I have a great belief in quality education. As a result, I have a great interest in the work of the superintendent. In my paper, I chose to become the superintendent and described a typical workday of the head of the public schools. I would like to share with you an excerpt from my paper which describes a typical day in the superintendent's life. This excerpt is a conversation between the superintendent and a parent who is concerned about the increasing incidence of violence in our schools. I understand your concerns completely and those of others in the community. And yes, this issue must be dealt with immediately. This is not a problem that is strictly educational. It is a societal problem. Children emulate adults, and they continually see adults solve their problems through violence. As a result, children learn to use violence to solve their problems too. To counteract this kind of negative behavior, I plan to meet with as many parents, educators, and community leaders as possible. A task force will be formed to address the problem in the home as well as in the community. In our middle schools, a required course, problem solving, alternatives to violence, will be implemented. With the community and schools working together, I'm positive that violence in our schools will be curtailed.
Hello, my name is Nikki Bryant. I attend Henry Grady High School's Magnet for Communications. I plan on attending Cornell University this year and majoring in hotel and restaurant administration. My paper was addressing an issue that should be a major concern for the educational system today, and that was the victimization of students and teachers by the educational system. Instead of being the focus, they tend to be the victims. And basically, my paper says that if you pamper teachers and pamper the students, that your results will be phenomenal.
Hi, my name is Nikki Kennedy, and I'm a senior at Fulton High School. Upon graduation, I plan on attending Amherst College in Amherst, Massachusetts, and majoring in mathematics and science or engineering. School is the most important aspect of a young person's life. It is an image builder or destroyer. If I were the superintendent of schools, I would open up the magnet programs for all students. The ideal of a magnet program is a wonderful one, for it allows students to concentrate on certain fields that they're interested in. Schools should be fun, and magnet programs provide the fun and excitement that a student needs to encourage them to attend school daily.
I'm Brixton Diamond from North Fulton High School. I'll be attending Brown University in the fall. One of the gravest problems facing our city as well as our society is the failure of the black male. My essay dealt with this issue as it pertains to the Atlanta public school system. I looked for the sources and how the problem exists. Hopefully, in conclusion, I provided some suggestions which would be helpful to solving this problem.
Hello, my name is Trelly Evans, and I'm a senior at Alonzo A. Cram Comprehensive High School. Upon graduation, I plan to attend Clark Atlanta University or Georgia State. If I were area superintendent, I would place birth control clinics in the school. I feel that the schools are for the students, and if the students are out either having babies or taking care of their children, who do you have the schools for?
Hi, my name is Andre Demetrius Freeman. I attend George Washington Carver Comprehensive High School. After graduation, I plan to attend Clark College and major in the field of finance. One issue that I expressed in my paper was school violence. Violence in our schools must be addressed. One way would be to ban book bags, check lockers periodically, use and install metal detectors. If rock concerts, airports, and even the public library could use such devices, then why not use them in schools? I plan to major in the field of finance because banking excites me. I mean, if you're gonna have money, why not have somebody to control your money? So.
Hello, my name is Tanya Jermaine Jewell. I am 18 years old and I attend Booker T. Washington High School. I plan to attend Johnson C. Smith University of North Carolina upon graduation. While attending this institution of higher learning, I plan to become a teacher. On your mark, get ready, set, go. The race for achieving excellence in education is on. Why is this race so significant? The September 19th, 1988 issue of Business Week magazine reports of the 2.4 million who graduate, as many as 25% cannot read or write. Considering these startling statistics of American education, there must be and there will be an educational reform. Each school district should be at the helm of this reformation. Therefore, each superintendent should be involved. If I were school superintendent, I would create explicit goals for everyone involved in this quest for excellence. As a matter of fact, I would form a winning team and pass the baton to the parent, principal, teacher, and student. Thus, each student will be guaranteed success as he crosses the educational finish line.
Hello, my name is Erica Lewis, and I'm a senior at Benjamin Mays High School. In the fall, I will attend Georgia Tech as a management major. As school superintendent, I would like to create a stronger bond among students and among teachers and students. This could be done by having teachers act as advisors. Their advisee groups could consist of 4 or 5 students from each grade level. As each senior group graduates, a new freshman group will enter the family. This creates an important family setting in the schools. These groups could meet once or twice a month to talk about important issues that are not addressed in the classroom, such as drugs, violence, teen pregnancy, and peer pressure, and other concerns in the community. The groups could also get together with other groups to discuss these issues. The groups could also go out into the community and aid the elderly or the homeless. I feel that these things would pacify class rivalries and help to bring the whole school together. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tali Shaluk, and I'm a senior at Henry McNeil Turner High School.
Upon graduating in June of 1989, I will be matriculating at Spelman College as a pre-med biology major. My essay for the Merrill Scholarship was basically a comparative study of a weak superintendent as opposed to a strong superintendent. In my paper, I found that with a weak superintendent with a weak system will lead to many problems within the school and also away from the school. In a system with a strong superintendent, I found that students will have a sense of belonging, and that will also improve the school's average while also increasing the system's average.
Hello, my name is Lisa LaDonna Rawls, and I am a senior at Frederick Douglass High School. Upon graduating, I plan to attend Wesleyan College to major in church music or physical therapy. In his aim to be the education president, President Bush has offered to allocate over $400 million in merit grants for schools that show the most improvement. What strategies could the superintendent use to promote excellence? If I were superintendent, I would inspire the faculties, students, schools, adults, and businesses of Atlanta to get involved with the educational and social dilemmas of the community. First, school administrators and teachers would pursue federal education dollars by creating environments in excellence in learning. Principals would instruct PTAs to urge parents to teach their children good discipline so that fewer behavioral problems would occur within each school. On the other hand, students would be given merit badges for maintaining high academic averages and high conduct averages. Students would be required to work at homeless shelters such as Habitat, teen or child social groups, or a political group. Additionally, each class or homeroom would elect a delegate to a committee to find solutions for difficulties facing specific schools. An example of this would be an expansion of the Junior Leadership Conference, which consists of high school juniors meeting once a month to discuss the aforementioned problems. Ultimately, businesses would be sought to commit themselves to schools. They would be lobbied to sponsor off-school site programs, to send role models to the schools, and offer more work-study programs, not just in food service and clerical, but also in technical and scientific areas. Metropolitan corporations would sponsor workshops for the purpose of building self-confidence and sundry problems of adolescents today. One program now in progress would be expanded is the Minority Leadership Development Conference sponsored by Southern Bell. The anguish of the negative publicity about American students must start within each school system. These strategies would be a start for the Atlanta Public Schools. The goal of the superintendent should be to get the entire community involved with improving the quality of education in our schools. The time is now for a more fully committed staff, student body, and public. The amelioration of our schools is the obligation of us all, not just the superintendent. As Markham stated, there is a destiny that makes us brothers. None goes his way alone.
Hello, my name is Sabrina Tyre. I'm a senior at Archer High School. When I finish high school, I plan to attend Tuskegee University, the School of Nursing. My Mayor's Scholarship competition paper was about the school, the teachers, and the parents, and involvement in school activities. My point was to bring about a change in schools and the way education is handled.
Good afternoon. My name is Shatela Shantez Walker, a senior at D.M. Thurl High School. I chose as my subtopic involvement in its totality. I chose this subtopic because I felt that a total involvement in the school system is imperative to our educational system. Parents involved, motivating their students each and every day to achieve. Teachers involved, motivating the students in academic and extracurricular activities. Students involved, motivating each other. The administrative staff involved, listening to the views of the administration, the students, the faculty, and the community. And lastly, but not leastly, the community's involvement, financially and motivationally. I chose this topic because I felt that involvement is a definite necessity in today's school system.
After graduation, I plan to attend Savannah State College, majoring in mass communication and a minor in political science. It has been an honor for me to be a Mayor Scholar, and I encourage all students to continue to achieve. Thank you.
My name is Lisa Walton, and I attend West Fulton High School. After graduation, I plan to attend Agnes Scott College. In my essay, If I Were School Superintendent or Could Impact on Decisions Made, I have developed an utopian school system, one which unites parents, teachers, and students into one acting force to enhance school life, eliminate school-age problems, and to improve study and work skills by the students. In my school system, I would provide a program of instruction which would meet the needs of each and every individual under my educational jurisdiction. They would develop the attitude, it's wise to be smart and it's smart to learn. In my system, I would set a trend not only to praise our athletic heroes, but our academic heroes. As a part of my plan to increase parental involvement, parents would be informed and active by the creation of Parents' Day. I would expand the vocational educational program and incorporate a cultural enrichment program, so along with book knowledge, the culturally deprived will become the culturally nourished. I would have a system-wide counseling center to help students cope with problems such as suicide, dropouts, pregnancy, substance abuse, and many other problems which I feel arise due to stress. My school system would be a good school system. United, parents, teachers, and students can, must, and will learn to seek unlimited goals. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Crystal Williams, and I'm a senior at Joseph Emerson Brown High School. After graduation, I plan to attend West Georgia College to major in political science. May I quote a paragraph from my paper? If America is to maintain its position of leader of the industrialized world, then it must make sure that the entire population is educated. There are laws at the federal level that enable this dream to become a reality. Yet this is not happening. Statistics reveal that our country lags far behind some other nations regarding literacy. These facts should be a major concern to every American citizen. In writing this essay for the Mayor's Scholars Contest, I was faced with a major challenge because there are so many problems affecting our school system today. In my paper, I discussed the areas that are most affecting the school system. These areas are drugs, violence, and the lack of parental support. If I were superintendent, these areas would be the main area of concentration. These tasks cannot be accomplished by the superintendent alone. This is where the family and the community must come into play.
Very briefly, since Dr. Harris wanted to know why we have so many meetings, and we have Mrs. Harris so involved with so many of the things that we are doing, I'm going to very quickly give you a rundown on what the Mayor's Task Force on Public Education is involved with. The Mayor's Scholars Program, which is one of our most exciting programs, the Dream Jamboree, which I know all of you know about and will be looking forward to on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of May. And then we have the Writing to Read program that's in the city daycare centers that we persuaded IBM to establish within, to have all of our 13 daycare sites to participate in that program. Most recently, we have involved Apple in establishing a tutorial program at the AARL Center. And of course, we continue to have public forums throughout the city. And in general, we see ourselves as an arm of goodwill and support for public education, which we believe in so strongly. So, Dr. Harris, that's why she stays so busy. As dessert is being served and your tables are being cleared, the mayor is going to come up and have a few remarks and sort of make the challenge to each of you. Mr. Mayor.
This is the 5th time that we have been blessed by Equitable, one of our major corporate citizens. When the Equitable Insurance Company moved their real estate division here to Atlanta, they brought with them an institution that has the responsibility of investing almost $50 million every day. They're an institution that has believed in the city of Atlanta. They were one of the first investors in a big downtown building. The Equitable Tower there at 100 Peachtree was built when Ivan Allen was mayor, and Ivan Allen formerly served on the board of Equitable. And so Equitable is an insurance company that literally has billions of dollars invested in the real estate development around the city of Atlanta. But one of the things that Equitable realized that we wish every corporate citizen would realize is that if you're investing in the buildings and not investing in the people, then maybe your investments are not as sound as you think they are. And so Equitable decided it was going to help invest in Atlanta's young people. And this is the 5th year in a row that we've had a Mayor's Scholars Luncheon, where we've presented $4,000 to 4 different young people per year to carry them on through school. Now, one of the things that happens usually in this, you give the scholarship, every now and then they hear from Equitable through Collier St. Clair, who maintains a relationship with our scholars, but we really don't often get to see what happens. I was privileged this winter to speak up at Syracuse University. And in the course of my speech, or right after my speech, a young lady came up and introduced herself and said, "Hello, I'm from Atlanta. I was one of your mayor's scholars." And I was just so proud. But that was all she said. And then as she walked away, the chaplain came up to me and said, "That's one of the finest students we've got at Syracuse." Said she's got a 3.8 average, she's in a dual degree program, and she's finishing 2 degrees this year, 3.8 average, and she was also elected Miss Syracuse. Now that's doing all right. I say that because she wasn't even the top student in her high school class here at Douglas. And her name is Charla Hills, and she's a fine young lady, but she was one of many outstanding students here in Atlanta. But with the help of the mayor's scholarship through Equitable, she has not only done well, she has done exceptionally well. And there's almost nothing that she can't do now. Another young woman who didn't even make the mayor's scholarship, she was one of the losers, didn't get a scholarship, but she came into our office and she didn't have enough money to go away to school, and Alice Johnson, with my staff, who works with the Dream Jamboree, got with her, and I said to her, "You know, if you don't mind going to school up north, and if you're not afraid of the cold, and if you're not afraid of white folks, we can find you a scholarship. It doesn't matter whether your daddy can send you to school or not." And so this year I found out that she's completed her 2nd year at Middlebury College, and she's on the honor roll at Middlebury. Middlebury's tuition is $19,500 a year, and that's probably more money than her daddy makes. But she's been able to stay there on full scholarship, studying and with a small job, but she's doing extremely well. And what I'm saying is that all of you are winners, and those of you who have gone before have demonstrated that students from Atlanta can go anywhere and hold their own. Now, from what I saw here in your I wouldn't give you the superintendent's job yet, but half of you are already qualified to be mayor. And you talk well, and you write well, you express yourselves in your eyes and in your personality, and when you can do that, you got it made. All you have to do is hang in there and believe in yourself, and believe that you can do anything you want to do, and don't let anybody or anything discourage you. I think that one of the things that I have failed to do in this program was that I always want to deal with the underachievers. And I've never been able to get the Mayor's Task Force to deal too well with the underachievers. Because I think that there are a lot of sorry kids in our schools who are just as smart as you all. And that not only do we have to help you move along, but we have to help you to realize that you can be leaders today, that you don't have to wait till you get to be the superintendent. Believe it or not, every last one of you has more influence in your school right now than the superintendent does, or the mayor, or the principal, or any of your teachers. One of the things we know about America that we can document any way you want to try is that this is a teen-run society. That you look around and you see what Madison Avenue uses when they want to sell something. They don't come to me, or they don't go to professors, they don't do research. They get teenage music, and they get rap stars, and they get people who can dance and sing. And the whole notion of black teen advancement, where the students themselves decided that they were going to keep down some of the student violence and some of the rivalries between their schools, and that they were going to make sure that they did the kinds of things that made for not only positive images for youth, but that made for really fun and wholesome lifestyles for young people in Atlanta. I think we can go even further than that. I think almost any idea you want to work on this summer, there will be some of us in City Hall, some of us at the superintendent's office, some of us in your school that will be glad to work with you on it. But as we have attempted to pull together and identify you as talent, we also want to confirm on you the opportunities of leadership. We want to let you know that you don't have to wait till you're grown. You don't have to wait till you're 50. Every movement I've ever been a part of, the civil rights movement was by and largely a student movement. The peace movement was by and largely a student movement. Almost every significant movement in this society, it doesn't work unless young people put their energy and their imagination into it. You have obviously expressed in these papers a tremendous amount of imagination, a tremendous amount of creativity, a tremendous amount of sensitivity and awareness to what's going on around you. Be true to that. Allow it to nurture and develop within you. Experiment in your own life with some of your ideas. Try it out on your friends. See what you can do now to move ahead. And I want to say to you that I really and truly believe that the future is in very good hands. One other thing. You demonstrated an ability to write. But in some sense, that's like somebody going out on the basketball court and throwing up the basketball and making the first three-pointer that they shoot and thinking that they're a good three-point shot. Writing, like shooting a basketball, or like hitting a tennis ball, or like almost anything that you do, you don't really get to be good at it unless you do it over and over and over again. Now, there was something in our newspapers that should have made you all mad last week. Because when they talked about Atlanta Public Schools on the front pages of the Atlanta Journal and Constitution, you would have thought this was a blackboard jungle. You would have thought that we got the worst, the craziest, the wildest, the most violent kids in the world in Atlanta public schools. That's an insult to all of you, because you are not that. They said way down in the bottom in one little line, there does not seem to be any serious drug problem in Atlanta public schools. And there may not be. I thank God that there is not. And from what I can tell, I don't know that there is. But you know what's going on. You know the extent to which violence is present in our schools. And you know that whatever it is a very small percentage of what's going on. That we have 70% of our kids going on to college. Somebody told me that 12 of our students have been accepted at Notre Dame this year already. That 15 are going to MIT. More students given scholarships to MIT from Atlanta public schools than any other school system in the country. And yet our newspapers talk about you all like you're a bunch of violent idiots. Well, if the pen is mightier than the sword, I want you to put your pen to work. I want you to go back and get that article. I want you to read the papers every day the rest of the year. And when they say something you don't like about your schools, about your superintendent, not to mention your mayor, I hope you will put pen to paper. And I hope you will begin to realize that the power of the pen that you have expressed in this scholarship essay is something that you need to work on every day of your life. One of the things that we have not produced from Atlanta, to my knowledge, is a great writer. We've got Nobel Prize winners, we've got great physicians, we've got good almost everything. We've not produced a first-class novelist, poet, essayist, and that's what I want to challenge you to do. I want to challenge you whatever your field is, even those of you who are going in math and engineering. If you ever get an engineer who can write, you got something. And very few engineers can write. And that's the reason why these instruction journals are so hard to understand. So keep up your writing. And whenever you read something or whenever I say something, if I say something that you don't like and that you think is ridiculous, put the pen to paper or get on a typewriter and write and give me a piece of your mind. And let me know that you are watching me and you're keeping me straight. No politician is any better than his constituents. No newspaper is any better than the people who read it and who it represents. And I hope you will develop these writing skills. All of you can talk, so don't hesitate to talk. I can't write, I don't spell, but I can talk. And I've gone a long way talking. So don't give up on talking. When you have an opportunity to talk, get up and talk. And just as our basketball players, I always say, you know, that anytime you get anybody, you look at the brothers on the playground, they are there 6 hours a day. They leave school, and by 4 o'clock they're there, and they'll be there till the lights turn out at 10. If you were writing that long, you would have a Pulitzer Prize by the time you're 21, if you were writing 6 hours a day. And so don't neglect this gift and this talent. I shouldn't have used the term gift. It is a gift, but it only becomes marketable, it only becomes productive as you develop it. Wynton Marsalis, great jazz trumpeter, was told by one of the reporters that, oh, you have a wonderful gift. God sure blessed you. He says, yes, God blessed me with the discipline to practice 4 hours a day. And I've been practicing this trumpet 4 hours a day since I was 10 years old. That's what you do with a gift. And that's how you turn a gift to greatness. And so accept the challenge that you have volunteered for, put your own ideas into work, and hopefully we have in our midst people that don't have to wait for the future to give leadership. You can start giving leadership to all of us now. We work for you. One other thing I say is that this is my last year as the mayor of this city. And I've really enjoyed being mayor, but I don't think anything has been any more significant than the work that we have done, Gene mostly, in my behalf and in behalf of the city through the Mayor's Task Force on Public Education. It's a committee of students, of teachers, of parents, of people from the business community and the media who have worked together simply to be behind the scenes supporting the public school system. Anything that the public school system needs from outside the public school system, the Mayor's Task Force on Public Education has attempted to support the superintendents, the principals, the families, and the Board of Education in our public schools and our students. But I know this is going to continue with the next mayor, but I would like to say to the faculty and the principal and to Superintendent and Mrs. Harris that I hope that while this has been a very great lunch, I hope that when we have the Mayor's Scholars Luncheon in 1991, that I will be able to host the Mayor's Scholars Luncheon out at that little house on West Paces Ferry. And one more thing is that everybody here is a winner. And if everybody doesn't get exactly the same thing from Equitable, I think we encourage you. The Dream Jamboree is next week. And if you don't know where you're going to school, if you don't have money to go to school, check with us now on the night of May the 2nd. We will have 200 colleges there. Come with your parents. Let me know the kind of things that, May the 3rd. Let me know, or Jean know, or Alice Johnson, or Marion Jones know the kinds of things that you're interested in, the kinds of school that you're interested in. And for any of you, we can find schools with money. And we can find a way to help you get an education, the kind of education that you want to get. And don't ever give up. My grandmama always told me the Lord will make a way out of no way. And I have believed that. You can believe that. And anything you want to do and believe you can do, you can do. God bless you. And now let me present the gentleman that has come into our city and inspired our students. And the kids call him JJ behind his back. And we have come to know and to love Dr. J. Jerome Harris and his wife. And we're very, very glad to have him as superintendent of our school system. And Dr. Harris,
thank you.
God bless you.
Thank you. Let me talk to my students first. There are several things you should do. One is that you should never, if you can help it, you should try not to speak behind a politician, not the #1 politician, because he gave you 5 speeches in one, 5 in 1. So whatever you had to say, it looked like he would sit over there and he would look at your brain, say he's going to say something about writing the paper and doing, so he made that speech. And he's going to talk about going off, so he made 5 in 1 there, and he did it well. So you don't talk behind a politician. Second thing, you don't talk behind a minister. And you certainly don't talk behind a minister that is a politician. Because he says nothing else to say other than I can say, here's the benediction, let's go home. But I'm going to stumble on anyway and try to get my 2 minutes in, but you cannot compete, so you have to come in second or third. I should always put myself in front of him and then allow him to close. But I guess my message to the students is that really in our country, you don't get anything for nothing. So Equitable, the mayor, none of us are giving you anything. We are investing in you. It's a clear investment in you. And in some way or another, I guess if you would say that I'm going to take the $4,000 and I'm going to get educated and then I'm going somewhere else, we would be glad that you got education. But I think we would be angry if you didn't come back to this city and give something to the city. Some way or another, it is an investment in you, and it really even starts before you graduate from school. You need to try to look at your classmates, because there are kids out there as bright as you that are not doing well, and we need to reach back and see how can we help those students. It's an investment, and you will be expected to repay that investment, and you repay it in a lot of ways. One of the ways that that investment is repaid is that with my wife, Mrs. Young, this is volunteer work. Will the volunteers that have worked, where are they? Will they stand, please, the people that have volunteered for Dream Jamboree and with this conference? Come on, stand up, the task force members. Okay. Thank you. Now, that means that it was done after their working hours. And that's why I said I wonder where my wife, I didn't see her name on here because she keeps going out, and I saw her name. And you know how my mind started wondering that, but they assured me that she's on the committee that's the Dream Jamboree. She wasn't on this committee. So I'm gonna have to look at the book next week to see if her name makes that book. It's in the book. Okay. But I would like to reiterate and urge you, you have to volunteer. That volunteering is their way of paying back what somebody invested in them somewhere down the line. And that's what will be expected of you. I would encourage all of you to invite me to your school, and we ought to talk, because that's the thing that I do probably best is talk, and I like to talk to young people. And I'll come out and spend all 3 lunches with you if you just invite me. I've probably done it. Maybe I've done it at Douglas, and maybe at Mays, and whoever I've been. Turner, and a couple other schools. But I'll be happy to come out and talk with young people, because all the advice that you gave me at Thurl, I just spent days out there, so I'm fine. Most of them I know very well. But I read those papers, and I appreciate the advice that you gave me, and some of it is quite useful to me. Some of it I don't have to grow into. And, but I think it ought to be about growing into it. So I appreciate you taking time to write and to give me advice, and I want to assure you that I've read all of your papers, and a lot of that advice we will be using, because I think that there's a serious, serious thing about us as students in Atlanta, and that we need to do something. If we don't, I don't know what happens to our world if the homeless lines keep getting longer, if the people keep putting bars up, if we can't work. Somebody told me the other day, they said, Dr. Harris, I know you miss New York, don't you? And I said, well, not really. And they kept on harping about how much I missed New York, and I got tired of it after a while. I said, no, I haven't been back to New York since I left. I said, but I guess maybe I need to go back to New York because it's so violent down here. I'm scared to come out of my house. Because the paper said that we were the #1 violent cities, and that's what they were telling me about what I was going to miss from New York. But in some way or another, the violence will grow unless we do something with our youth. We cannot have a city that's going to be a city of the haves and the have-nots. The have-nots will never let you have. So we have to be involved with the have-nots, with the losers of the world. We have to have a recycling. That's what school is supposed to be about, recycling people. So invite me out to lunchtime. You don't have to agree on it, but one of the things we can do as students is that I don't know if there's anybody in the city who's had more tales told on them than the superintendent. I've been given credit for everything. At one school I walked in and they said, Dr. Harris, why we can't have book bags? I said, I don't know. I said, you said we can't have book bags. I said, did I say that? They said, yep. They said, we can't wear them. I said, why do you think, no, I don't know anything about the book. I said, why do you think I would make a statement like that? They said, you think that just because we got those knapsacks on our bags that kids carry drugs and guns in them? I said, that's right, that's a good idea. You have to keep them in your locker. School had made that rule, and it made sense to me, but they gave me the credit for it. I never heard of it. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, Dr. Harris, why is it they can wear shorts in Mays and they can't wear shorts at Harper? I said, I don't know anything about wearing shorts anywhere. I didn't make any rules about shorts. If the shorts at Mays get too short, I'm gonna stop the ones at Mays. But if they don't wear them at Harper, that's Harper's decision. That's not my decision. So we need to, every time I get a chance to talk, I would tell all of you that the pictures that you see in your room, I didn't send them out, didn't even know they were out there. Until I saw them, they were out there. But after I saw them, I appreciated it, but I didn't send them there. You got a little book coming out next week? I didn't send that out either. The book was made, I kept it in the warehouse as long as I can keep it in. I got to send it out to the school sooner or later, but one of the board members wrote that. So one of the things that we do is to be able to talk to you, because that's probably the best time of my life and the most rewarding thing of my job is to be able to talk with young people. So feel free to call me and invite me out. I want you to know that we're proud of you. We're proud of what you're doing, proud of what you're going to do, and we promise to do whatever we can to support you. We have some certificates to give out. You want to call the names, and I'll do the handshake.
Okay. As we call you, please come forward and receive your certificate. Sabrina Tyre from Archer High School. Let's give her a hand.
Come on up, Mr. Mayor. Okay.
Crystal L. Williams from Brown High School. Andre Freeman from Carver High School. Trelly Evans from Krim High School. Lisa Riles from Douglas High School. Nikki Kennedy, from Fulton High School. Melissa Brown, George High School. Nikki Bryant, Grady High School. Sinitra Bates from Harper High School. Erica Lewis, Mays High School. Brixton Diamond, North Fulton High School. Aaron Brown, Northside High School. Dwight Bibbs, Southside High School.
Hi, how you doing? Is that your school this morning?
Chatela Walker, Farrell High School.
How you doing, sir?
Ty Alicia Luke, Turner High School.
Oh, come on over here. How you doing? What school is this? Okay.
Tanya Jewel, Washington High School. Lisa R. Walton, West Fulton High School.
Let me take just a second for a second. Thank you. Now, could we have all the parents of our students that are here, would you please stand and let us recognize you? They're going to still need your support. They will still need your support, because I remember the time sitting there and seeing them graduate from high school, and I said, oh, I'm free. No. So when you get them out of college, you won't be free. But now what we have is growing up, and they ought to take on a greater responsibility for their decisions in their lives, but they're going to still need the nurturing and support that only parents can give them. So you're very fortunate to have students like them, and stay on the case. Okay.
let me remind you that the people who were reading these papers didn't know whose paper they were reading. Each paper only had a number, and it was based on the selection of those readers exactly how the numbers were chosen that we now announce. From George W. Carver Comprehensive High School, Mr. Andre Freeman.
Come on right here.
Stand right here. Let's get in there. Come on in here, sir. We all stand up. Oh, you got an autograph? Is that an original work by the mayor now?
It's one Gene had permission. From Frederick Douglass High School, Miss Lisa Rawls.
Congratulations. Come over here and get this picture, sir.
This picture. You want to shake the coin?
Watch the camera.
From Northside High School, Miss Erin Brown. Finally, from North Fulton High School, Mr. Brixton Diamond. This is the first year we've had 2 men. Last year we didn't have any.
Go on, get this picture.
The Equitable, the members of City Hall, the Mayor's Task Force on Education, and all of you who come today, thank you so very much. Good evening, and have a good year.
Very good.